Are you in a rut in the morning, eating the same thing for breakfast every day? Are you thinking that you probably should be eating something a little healthier? I want you to stay with me for a few minutes. I have something I'd love to share with you. You've probably heard by now, you should be eating more whole grains. In fact, you've probably seen it on the cereal box before where it says, whole grains, reduce your risk of heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, and cancer. And all those things are true. And in fact, maybe you've heard that the American government recommends that we eat half of our grains whole. I'd like to show something to you that may convince you that this is true. And this is why I like to eat whole grains for the most part in my diet. I want to show you the parts of a grain. Actually, grains are seeds of grassy plants, and there are three basic parts to them. The outer part is the bran. That's this kind of rough textured, and that's what gives us fiber in our diet. Now, the bran not has only fiber, but it also has other nutrients like B vitamins and also antioxidants that are so important to prevent disease. Now, at the base of the grain is this wonderful, super nutritious food, and that is called the germ. Now, the germ is loaded with B vitamins and antioxidants also, and it also has protein and healthy fats. Now, these fats are the kind of fats that are actually anti-inflammatory, and they're good for our heart. So the center of the grain is called the endosperm. The endosperm is full of starchy carbohydrates, and it has a little bit of vitamins and minerals and a little bit of protein, but not too much. Now, the center part, this endosperm, that is the part that we love to eat. When we eat white bread, white pasta, white rice, when we eat cakes and pastries, we love it because it's soft and it doesn't have a lot of the grittiness that the whole grains sometimes have. The problem is, when we're eating the center part, the white part, day in and day out, we lose a lot of the nutrients that are found in the germ and in the bran, because when they refine grains, those two parts come out of the grain. So we lose about 75% of the phytonutrients that are found in the grain, in the whole grain. And that leaves, what happens is it leaves our bodies more exposed to breakdown and disease. So that's why I like to recommend that everybody eats whole grains, especially in the morning, because it's a good way to start your day. Because most of us go out for lunch, either go out and eat or we take our lunches with us, and there's a good chance you're not going to find a lot of whole grains out there in the community or in restaurants. I want to introduce you to a grain that you may have tried or maybe you haven't tried yet, and that's quinoa. Actually, quinoa is not really a grain, it's actually a pseudo grain. Along with amaranth and buckwheat, these grains don't contain gluten, for those of you that are concerned about gluten, and they're very much like whole grains in that they contain all these wonderful phytonutrients, fiber, protein, and healthy B vitamins and antioxidants. They're very good in all these things, and the special thing about quinoa is that it's a complete protein. It has all the essential amino acids. So it's actually considered a superfood. I love quinoa. It has kind of a nutty flavor, and I recommend you try it. You can put it in soups or stews, in salads. You could use it in place of bulgur wheat and tabbouleh. And I eat it for the most part in the morning as a breakfast cereal. It's a simple way to do it. So when you buy it, I recommend looking for the kind that's pre-washed. Now, on the outside of this grain is called something called a saponin. Now, saponins are the substance that make grains sudsy when you see foam when you're cooking the grain. Now, saponins won't hurt you. In fact, there may be some health benefits to them, but the saponins on quinoa are actually bitter. And so it's better that you rinse them out or buy the kind that's pre-washed. Now, when you cook quinoa, it takes 2 parts of water to 1 part of grain. And it takes about 15 minutes to cook. A serving size is about 1/4 cup. So what I'm going to do is put 1/2 cup of the grain in a pan along with a cup of water. And we're going to cover that and bring it to a boil. And then we're going to cook it for about 15 minutes. And when we come back, I'm going to show you how to put together your breakfast bowl. Okay, so our quinoa is all cooked, and you can see how fluffy it is. This is, again, 1/2 cup, and it's cooked for 2 people. Let me say something quickly about quinoa. When you buy it, you can buy different colors. They actually have red and black and white. I prefer the white. It's a little bit fluffier than the black or the red, but they're all good and they're all very nutritious. And then one secret I have to share with you, when I'm cooking it for breakfast and I know I want to eat it sweet, I cook dates right in it because that makes the whole thing sweet, and I add a little bit of vanilla flavoring. But today I wanted to show you what it looks like, just plain. All right, so I'm going to add the quinoa to my bowl. And if you have leftover quinoa, you can use it for lunch, say in your salad or in a soup. A little bit more there. And there we have it. And I'm going to add some wonderful fruits like bananas. Colors are important when you're eating fruits and vegetables. Make sure you don't just eat bananas every day. Make sure you eat other colors because each color is a different nutrient and so important for your health. Fruits and vegetables raw every day I recommend with your meals. They're just loaded with those phytonutrients which fight diseases and protect our bodies against age-related diseases. Strawberries, yum. One thing about strawberries, I always like to buy strawberries that are organic because the strawberries tend to be higher in pesticide residue. So if you're able to, I recommend the organic kind. Beautiful colors. So think colors of the rainbow every day and you'll be good. Beautiful. Blueberries loaded with phytonutrients. And you can freeze them. If you get a lot of them in the summertime, you can freeze them for the winter. And we're going to put some dates, that nice natural sweetness. I think of dates as God's natural candy. Whenever I want something really sweet, I reach for a date. And then, of course, I like nuts in the morning. This can be a 1-bowl meal right there. You've got your dates and you've got your fruits and your grain. And then we're going to top it off with just a little bit of coconut. This is unsweetened raw coconut. Now, if you'd like to add maple syrup or honey to it, you can do that too. I prefer, like I said, adding the dates while I'm cooking it, but you can add a little bit of sweetener on top if you'd like, and that makes a delicious and healthy meal. I do hope you'll try it. Until next time, live well.